Well, I'm leaning bearish for at least the nearest pivots to go. That is a head and shoulders on ES. I'm still leaning bullish overall though. ES is a lot stronger than NQ at the moment. Calls don't look bad if NQ gets a bit higher. Yeah, it's starting to look like SPX calls. NQ didn't sweep the bottom of this demand though. It is a pretty big pivot at the bottom of the demand, so it may want to go down there, so I'm a little hesitant on calls. Yeah. Hey, Q puts might not be a bad scalp to demand if you're super quick. By the way, guys, I am freaking dead because that journaling software is a huge pain, but I do have all the API access to Tradeovate. So all you futures traders, that completely free journaling software will be ready today because I'm not doing anything else besides trading right now until that's done. That'll be a that'll be a pretty big deal. Looks like ES is also going to get demand. Now, my pre-market sentiment that I sent out was short-term bearish because we do have these nice head and shoulders. So we'll see what happens when ES sweeps this low. Should go for it. Yeah, it is. Not really. Oh, that's perfect double bottom on ES. That is a Leo. If we can bounce out, enter puts, but probably not going to bounce. But that double bottom is not allowed. Yeah, I needed to bounce more if I'm going to enter. Well, that's not a bad bounce. I took some. My sound is not muted. That is not an alert I can alert though. Yeah, there it is. There you go. I already took profits. No use in alerting that because it's like impossible, but I took quick 10% off that. NQ also got to the next PT. And NQ looks weak. We might break all this demand on NQ, and this isn't really stuff that I can enter though. I mean, really heavy demand. Okay, now my chart is upside down. What the hell is going on here? Is it this? Oh, I didn't know this button exists. Huh. Yeah, that looks pretty bullish to me on NQ now. What do you guys think? Type in chat. That looks pretty bullish to my next pivot. 25,831. Yep. Yep, that looks pretty dang good. The Tommy button. That's crazy. That's awesome. All right, give me something small on NQ I can enter puts now. Something, some kind of consolidation, something small and I can enter. Okay, never mind. That's a reversal candle. I cannot enter. But if it like bearishly consolidates that demand, I have really nice pivots below and NQ still weak. SPX calls aren't bad if we invalidate that second red candle. Oh, yeah. I am entering calls, by the way. Light size. All right, let's see if I get to add to this. I think I will. I got a pretty dang good fill on my calls. I just put a limit order in it. Ended up coming all the way back down and filling. This trades, as you can see, look how far the PT is. And the reason I'm half size, not even half size, light size on this is because I'm not convinced NQ doesn't want a new low of day. But has been strong. Hopefully that continues staying that way. It's been strong, and it's a really nice sweep there. It might be very unlucky because now, right when I fill ES is no longer strong. It's about even. It's actually might be flipping a little bit weaker. Looks like I'll get my average down. Need ES a sweep low, a lower low. Yeah, looks like that's gonna happen. Did take my ad. I could go one more time. I don't know if I want to make this trade. I think it would be slightly above full size if that happened, but NQ swept the next pivot. ES did not. ES has a nice pivot at 70.02 that I think it's probably going to go for. And if we break past that with momentum, I'm stopping out of this trade. Okay, it did just sweep it just now. Looks like NQ might want to take out the entire demand. I mean, I don't know what my average is. My average is 2.2-ish. So I'm actually green on the trade now, which is actually kind of nuts. These are doing the opposite of chopping because I filled here at 2.0 and these contracts only really got a little bit below 2.0 there. Yeah, wow, they're already back at 2.4. What the hell? Oh, they're dropping again though. Dang, these calls have potential if NQ reverses. Unfortunately, though, that's another really bearish candle on NQ. It's still looking like I'll stop out, but these calls look really good to go up if NQ even put in a small bounce. And NQ looks good to break demand. This is a great opportunity to sell half, though, which is something I'd like to do. Oh, now the calls are chopping. That's unfortunate. That right at the beginning of these calls did just come up a bunch. They got to 2.5. My order's at, there we go, I just sold half at 2.5. NQ's going for the demand break. I could re-add the half that I just sold. I only averaged a 10% gain on that. But we'll see. Doesn't really look like, even though NQ's getting to its last pivot, doesn't look good for an NQ reversal. Looks pretty bearish. But ES is so strong, though. It's like this trade will work if NQ even goes sideways at this point. If NQ can stop going straight down, goes sideways, this trade will work. It's a reversal candle on NQ with a volume spike, buying wick, and a liquidity sweep. But this candle trade opening, yeah, this candle opened bearish. Looks like it's gonna make a lower low. It looks, oh, that looks really nice to re-add what I just trimmed. Yeah, that looks really nice. Never mind. NQ does not want to go up. And that looks like news. Well, thank God I sold half. I obviously stopped out here. Starting off the day red. Never mind, it's not news. I do not, let's see, because it is not 7:45. If this red candle validates, I'm going to have to re-enter. But otherwise, I can't really enter shorts because we're on the next pivot on ES. But that is pretty bearish. This is very bearish. Let's see, do I have any news? I have PMI, but that's in a minute. Oh, we released PMI 2 minutes early or something? I still like calls though on ES. I still really like them. It's like NQ's actually flipping strong. Now the SPX puts aren't looking that bad. Yeah, SPX puts are not looking bad at all. Nor are the Q calls though. I just needed this is like a mild bear panic here on ES. NQ's a lot stronger, so I like Q calls. I really want to be catching dips all day, but it looks like it's gonna be the move. Yeah, I took it. And looks like I got a freaking fantastic fill. Also like SPX calls as well. Yeah, I really like SPX calls actually. Well, let's see what happens. I think I filled somewhere right here. I don't know where exactly I filled. Tried getting 71 cents, ended up filling at 80. Looks like it's chopping a bunch now because they were at 94 cents. And I also filled the SPX calls at 2.55, like right here. That's a fairly light position. I'm looking for it to just break back over. See, can I get 38.2%? That'll be my PT if we can get that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm just looking for. Ooh, NQ is super weak. This candle doesn't put in a buying wick and it's a big red candle. I'm thinking it's going to stop out. That's a lot of chopping down at market open, though. Even despite how huge this red candle was on ES, this whole thing's still a descending broadening wedge, which is why I can't freaking take any shorts. It's because I don't short while it's chopping down. NQ looks bad, though. NQ, ES looks great. NQ looks terrible. NQ looks like it's gearing for another low of day. Yeah, it looks like NQ's just gonna be going down all morning. Debating on whether I want to stop out early or add because these positions are light. SPX looks so good. These Q calls, though, they started signaling super bearish when this 748 candle was way smaller on the options chart than the other one. Started chopping really hard when that happened. So I'm pretty bearish on NQ now. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to sustain bounce. I don't have any pivots below. That's it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to try to get to 38.2%. It's a bear pennant. And ES is flipping weak. I stopped out. It's not worth my time. NQ could come back up, but another pretty small loss. But I don't. There's not really much I can actually properly get triggered into. I'm not holding during bearish consolidation. I cannot do that. Puts do not look bad though. Puts do not look bad at all. I don't really want to switch because I'm not really willing to take a loss on it, but NQ puts look great to the 25704. I personally took a small position, but I'm not alerting it. I don't want that's not a position I'd alert. Now, if we can get a bounce and one more oscillation during this bearish consolidation, I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm just taking it myself. All right, yeah, here it comes. All right, that's a damn good stop loss right there. As much as I didn't want to do it, it is a damn good stop loss. We're almost at 38.2% fib, and I'm looking for ES to get to demand. Jeez, these Q puts are freaking skyrocketing. Oh my gosh, what the heck is this? I made a decent chunk of change there. I think I actually made back my freaking loss. Yeah, I did. Well, you only got it if you're in the live trading. Jeez, these freaking puts went from. I mean, I just bought the more expensive ones because I have time to change the strike. This went from 1 point. I tried filling at 1.18. They filled at 1.13, and they're at 1.7 right now. Yeah, that just wiped out all my loss. I'm not even joking. So I now know that today's drop is fundamental. So I'm not really going to be stepping in front of it anymore. That's over. Right? We had a descending broadening wedge. We had some strength there. We had a huge news spike with a buying wick off a pivot. Um, but clearly today's drop is very fundamental. I started looking at a little bit of news, so I will not be stepping in front of that anymore. Yeah, the Q put's freaking skyrocketed. Jeez, that's such a good stop loss. That is such a good stop loss. Imagine not being able to stop out of trades. Could not be us, right? But now what am I gonna do? Because I freaking oh my gosh, those puts are over 100%. I freaking sold them for like 30%. So stupid. Gosh, dang it. And we have a little bit of news in 3 minutes, but it says delayed due to shutdown. That is bearish. When do Head and Shoulders play out that good? Like never, right? It's looking like we're gonna head to the 61.8. Jeez, why is every single day operation try not to FOMO? Every single day is freaking try not to FOMO into the market. Cupids still look good though. They still look good. I still like them a lot. I still like them, but I need just a small opportunity to enter, and this is just straight down, so I can't do much. But no, I freaking made back all my. Why are your charts so sick? Okay. Oh yeah, I'm freaking in such a good mood. Gosh, I wanna hop back into puts. Just the market is so freaking bearish. I'm bearish to the 61.8 on NQ personally. I do not have an entry here though. That I do not have. The freaking puts I had just 3x. Jeez. Wondering why you didn't trade to any pivots today. Riker, because there's no consolidation and it was extremely oversold with no context whatsoever. That's why. Now I have context, so now I'm able to trade to stuff. But if this thing could even put in a small bounce, I would hop into puts. Like, see, this is a small bounce. I can work with this because I can gauge how much buying pressure is down here. So my PT today is 25,504. Oh my gosh, that is so incredibly freaking bearish. That is so bearish. ES flipped a lot weaker than NQ. I would love to be in. I would love to be in. I just need some kind of small bounce. My price target is demand on NQ. Let's see if we can get there. Ideally, getting there after it lets me into the trade. That would be ideal. Doesn't look like that wants to happen though. Bruce destroyed me today. Tommy, you destroyed yourself, buddy. The freaking options contracts are so strong too. They are so bullish as in premiums. Dude, NQ does not want to bounce. Nothing wants to bounce. We might just get straight to my huge demand PT, and I'm not going to be able to get in. Which is going to be super annoying. That will be super annoying. Yeah, looks like that's going to happen. Maybe not. We tried bouncing on the previous candle. Maybe we'll get a small bounce here. But I'm pretty bearish to this 25,504 level. That is my 61.8. We still have no support under here as well. So closer PT is 522-ish on NQ. See, that's a solid potential entry for puts. Took a very light put position. Scaled into it on the bounce, or scaling into it on the bounce. One of my fills was freaking atrocious though. Looks like it's going to continue this bounce. Because that's a pretty bullish candle we just put in. Let's see if this short squeeze continues. Because I'm in really light right now. I may scale in further, but I need to see how it tests the higher high. Ooh, is it not going to let me scale in more? Is that what we're doing? It's a pretty bearish candle at close, but not gonna lie, my thinkorswim's bugging because it says um I'm in a ton of contracts, but I'm not. So I'm like confused where these are coming because my monitor is saying I'm in a bunch of contracts, but I am not because my. So I don't know where it's. Oh wait, yeah, it was canceled. Okay, never mind. We are good. That's pretty bearish right there. That's not bad to add a little bit more. Yes, putting in a small buying wick, it might want to bounce again. Oh, that looks pretty good. My contracts are up a pretty solid amount right now. Looking for the NQ demand, more specifically the 61.8 level, this white line inside this demand. That's the prize right there. That's a lower low, so if we bounce now, then it's actually not good. The ESP2B somewhere right here, I guess. You can take profits if you want. I'm pretty stubborn about my Nasdaq price target though. Not a bad place to take profits, I will say that. Or a little more than halfway to BT. Looks like it wants to try to put in a bounce. See how far it goes. Looks like ES is a bit stronger than NQ. I didn't get to add my second half or anything, so if it comes back up, I might do that, but if we come back up too bullish to where I may get squeezed out of the position, then I will not do that. Looks like a bullish bounce to me on ES. That's got potential to short squeeze. Let's see if it happens. These lower lows are pretty bullish. Okay, NQ's trying to flip stronger now. They should be able to make higher highs here. So I can't really add. If this turns into bearish consolidation, I'll add more because that can happen. So if we come back up, then come back down, and it starts turning into a bear pennant, I can do it. Looks like NQ is now a bit stronger. It's freaking nuts how bearish we are today, though. Did not expect that at all. And the fact that, I mean, I pretty much only took call trades at the beginning. I made it all back in one tiny little, literally made all my loss back in this tiny move right here. And I freaking sold it because I had no faith that we were gonna, that was only half the drop. So lower low on ES, not so much on NQ. Let's see if we put in bearish consolidation. Bounce here would be fairly bullish for ES because we do have that lower low. If it's going to put in bearish consolidation, we can't have a lower low. And we do now. So, dang, man, I'd love to be freaking heavy in this. That's NQ bouncing. That's bullish. ES is on the 38.2% fib, which is a pretty big support level. He's kind of hoping that NQ would stay weaker and NQ would get to this fib at the same time he has got to this one, but we don't always get what we want. Yeah, my PT's freaking far on ES. Well, take profits if you want. They're up huge. Now that's a reversal candle right there. It's a good place to take profits. That's a reversal candle right there if it closes without the selling wick. This is turning into a falling wedge on NQ. I'm not a big fan of my PT anymore. Like, it's a fantastic PT, but I don't want to hold to it. Yeah, that did close as a pretty bullish candle on the Nasdaq. Let's try to look at news and see what I can see. That's a bullish bounce right there on ES, not on NQ though. There is the bullish bounce. Well, that is fantastic profit taking if you took it. Be very surprised if we don't continue back up at least to the level that I initially entered. I still have a decent amount left. It's light though I never really got to add. If this invalidates though and we just go down, that's going to be very surprising. In fact, that's going to prompt me to take a reversal trade at the NQPT. ES looks like it's done though. That fib is putting in work. The 38.2% and the 61.8 are the strongest fibs. And judging by how far apart they are, this 38.2% level is a very, very major level. We got a buying wick on that red candle. There's still possible. It's still possible that we squeeze the upside, but that shows that big green candle's immediately tested with shorts. So let's see if we invalidate the wick of that green candle. That should be pretty bullish. for a continued bounce. It's actually very surprising that NQ even got those 2 red candles. I was expecting kind of a squeeze to the upside. This could still turn into bearish consolidation here. Right now we're chopping down, which is bullish. ES looks like it doesn't want to go down anymore. NQ's another story though. I'm thinking we make a higher high and then maybe another oscillation. Maybe we put in a bear flag. NQ's catching back up in strength. Let's see how it makes the higher high. We'll see if it's bearish or bullish. If it's bearish, I'll think about re-adding. If it's bullish, I'll just leave the little bit that I have to do whatever it's going to do. Looks pretty bearish. At least on ES and Q, not so much. Looks like this next candle is going to open bullish on NQ. It did indeed open bullish. That is bearish. Never mind. Did take a small ad when that red candle started its buying wick. Not anything I can alert though. Far too risky and too minor. Too minor of an ad. NQ, I can see potential bearish consolidation. I can't tell if that's me being hopeful or not. It does kind of look like an ascending broadening wedge. But honestly, if we get low of day again, I'm going to trim what I just added. Because it looks like there's a lot of support here on the 38 too. On ES. That's a bearish 5-minute chart. Yeah, usually that'll produce low of day. If it were a 1-minute chart, it would. Yeah, it is. It did kind of turn into, you guys can see it did kind of turn into bearish consolidation a little bit. I would expect one more bounce here before low of day, and then we'll see if that bounce invalidates. If it does, that'll be confirmed bearish consolidation, and that bearish consolidation is big enough to get to NQ demand. But if we just get low of day now, I'm trimming. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at it. Oh my god, look at it. I couldn't even get my order in the right place. I had to freaking market sell my trim because it just shot up too fast and the chain couldn't catch up to it. Oh, yep. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see, folks. Folks, we're rich. We are rich. Type a chat if you're rich. Oh my gosh, we are so rich. Oh. Oh my gosh, we are rich, folks. I can buy lunch today. I can feed my family. Jeez, dude. Oh my gosh, we're freaking rich. I mean, I sold it and it got a lot more than what I sold it for, but oh my gosh, this market's bearish. I don't know if futures will be any good today. SPX puts got 108% gains. I did not sell anywhere close to that, unfortunately, but I was also not super light on the trade. I'll just say that. It was a little bit heavier than I should have been. So I'm okay. Oh my gosh, what a PT. And the freaking Q puts got a 3.8. When am I ever Q puts that get that high? Like never. Jeez, man. Got 117% on. And that's actually bullish for calls right there. I'm not taking it, but that's an SPX call trade here. I'm done for the day, but that's a solid trade right there. In this market, though, I don't know. Usually, though, that looks pretty decent. But today is mad. The bearishness today is freaking magical. I mean, when did we call out? I called out the 61.8 PT all the way up here, and then I was just waiting for an entry that whole freaking time, which was pretty upsetting. But we sniped the bounce when it happens, when it did happen. Good thing for this live trading, because again, like I'm working on that software today, the journaling software that's completely free that links to your futures account for you futures traders, and I'm not like getting any sleep over it. It is is so freaking painful. But it's a good thing that I'm live because I don't, with how crazy today's market was and just my lack of processing power in my brain. Not very on top of the whole alerting today, but we had a lot of people trading live with us. So not really in YouTube, but at least in Discord we had like 100. So why is it dropping? I don't know. You know, I looked at the news and I wasn't so sure. Something about tech sliding or AI something. I don't know. All I know is when I glanced at the news, it was fundamental, which made me change everything. And really, the reason gosh, I'm freaking bright green today, folks. I am bright green. I mean, win rate's shit, but I don't care about win rate. I care about, making money. Um, the only reason I'm green today is because our stop losses, like good stop losses, accepting loss, so on and so forth. For all you people in Discord, type in chat. And congratulations on the gains, John. Dang, dude. And congrats on Trader of the Week, by the way, as well, John. But type in chat if you guys are green or red, and I'll send a screenshot. Wait, turn off my streamer mode as well. Need a few more people to type, then we're filled up. Yeah, John, you might need a break from trading after that, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty hard to have not made at least a few $1,000 if you're trading options today. Hell, I mean, one QQQ contract, you're making $100 a contract, and you're not even holding all the way down. You know, most people buy a few of those contracts because they're cheap. What a good day. Time to ruin it on futures, am I right, guys? As far as ruin my mood, not my options P&L. That is beautiful. And it's already futures time. I get no break. I really do. I mean, I really don't. I get no breaks. Okie dokie. Trading. 8 accounts now. Oh yeah, we have bullish chop on ES, strong, and demand. I'm actually triggered into ES longs. I'm not even joking. You see. Yeah, if ES comes back up, I'm triggered in, right? Because let me see. We have bullish chop, demand, and strong going against trend. Yeah, huh? All right, that will happen. This candle closes bullish. I mean, they're like underwear. You can start journaling today, right? Looks good enough for me to enter any of this candle close decent. That is decent enough. I did put my order in. It did not fill my order because the market hates me. It bumped my order up a little bit. Kind of painful to do, but whatever. It did fill me. Dang, a 1-to-1 risk to reward trade. Are we serious? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Let's see if I get hornswoggled or not. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna get hornswoggled. NQ is putting in bearish consolidation. This candle really needed to be green, and it is not green. So it looks like I'm gonna start this futures day like every other day. Wouldn't be surprised if it sweeps my stop loss. I just cannot put it any further. That's 1-to-1. I can't re-enter though after it sweeps my stop loss. I feel like it's gonna sweep my stop loss and come back up, but I can't re-enter because then it's potential bearish consolidation. Unfortunately. You gotta love those extremely quick trades. I'm still leaning fairly bullish on the chop, but see, I'm not really gonna be able to enter anything else unless ES sweeps low a day bullishly and then comes back up. Then I'd enter the exact same trade. Looks like ES is weaker than NQ now. I think the drawing is pretty good. Um, yeah, the first trade's fine. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's very bad. Let's see. It's trying to bullish chop, so I need a higher high to be made, which means I need these trend lines to break. Kind of hoping it makes a higher high so I can enter the shorts. This is a really nice pivot right here on NQ. This 25,456. That is a very, very nice pivot. I'm pretty bearish for the market to get to. He is back to being weaker than NQ. I need ES to make a higher high here, though. ES looks good for shorts, but it's still bullish chop. I can't be triggered into it. But yeah, it's trend bearish consolidation weak going against demand and bullish chop. ES is so weak, man. If this candle doesn't put in a buying wick, and it did not, it's looking like I'm not gonna be able to enter shorts. I'm starting to lean bearish for it to just take out low of day. ES looks like it's gearing up to break the downside. NQ though this looks like a baby bull flag right here. Looks like NQ really wants to break the upside. So it's looking like if ES can get low of day, I can take a reversal trade. Because we'll still have bullish chop going on ES. I mean, what would it be? Let's see. NQ is strong, bullish chop, ES demand going against trend. And then maybe NQ bearish consolidation as well. If I can get a volume spike on ES, that would. No, that wouldn't work because I don't have other volume as keyword. Also, kind of multitasking and trying to fix the website while I'm doing this. But the problem is I'm also bearish on NQ to 25,456. That's a really nice pivot. So it's like with ES so much weaker than NQ, ES can actually get down a decent ways. And I want to enter shorts here because it is bearish consolidation on ES and trend and weak. But I'm going against demand and yeah, demand and bullish chop. Unfortunately, because it did not do what I wanted it to do. But this would be my entry here. If I were trading fully subjectively, this would be my entry. Look, NQ looks good to get downwards. Looks like we're getting ready for this downside break. ES may flip stronger again here as it sweeps some lows. That was a bullish. That was a bullish volume spike on ES there. It's indicative of a bounce, but it did not sweep low of day. I really want this trend line to break to the upside before it drops. Not really thinking I'm gonna be that lucky though. Oh, that's a perfect trend line. Thank you. Wait a minute. Are we sure? No, it is. Yeah, it's a perfect trend line on NQ. Okay, so it's demand, strong, bullish chop, perfect trend line going against trend. Yeah. Uh, the problem is the trend line's already breaking. That would be huge for a reversal trade. Yeah, now it's gone. Perfect trend lines break. That's why it was a big deal. That would have looked good for a potential reversal trade here. But it's an extremely unnatural trade and it showed up. It showed up too late. That's a nice squeeze. Okay. Yeah, perfect trend line strikes again. It's actually been forever since I had a perfect trend line. So now there isn't really. There's still bullish chop on ES. I need ES to take out this high. That's what I really need. Crypto getting hosed right now. Let's see. Yeah, it was not much. Looks like crypto. Look at this bearish chop that's happening on the overall S&P. That's a nice break to the upside. Does not look like it's going to be bullish chop anymore. So if we can come down, I can enter. I think it might be NQ that's weaker now. All right, we made the higher high, I guess. All right, so now if we come down, it'll be bearish consolidation. I should be able to enter. If we go too far up, though, that's not going to work. I'm not going to have any trades if we go up, actually. Because, yeah, even here, I can't. Even if I wanted to long here. NQ is still a little bit stronger. So we have strong demand, bullish chop. That's 3 going against trend and bearish consolidation. And by the next candle, potential bearish consolidation still not validated. So still nothing. That's a nice looking bounce, though. This journaling software is going to make me pull my hair out. This is like extremely difficult to get working. Okay, so I mean, yeah, we still kind of have a bearish consolidation. It's going to be really funky. But it is technically still bearish consolidation. The problem is we have potential head and shoulders as well. That is a bearish candle. So I mean, what would I have? I would have um, right now NQ's weaker. So in the way we'd have demand, and then we'd have trend weak and a bearish consolidation, I guess. Bearish consolidation is a bit of a stretch on ES. It's got a bit too far up. Relation to this oscillation, but yeah, it's kind of a tough decision. It's not really head and shoulders either, but it's a it's a tough decision because I could technically. I don't need to wait for it to invalidate the entire thing because I'm just using trend instead of liquidity momentum. But the problem is this would be the trade, and that trade is the PT is very far away. It's like, how confident am I really? I am kind of triggered in though. That's the thing. If this closes without a buying wick, I'll give it a shot. But these trades are huge, so I'd recommend sizing down. Oh wait, it got a buying wick. Never mind. Think I'm making progress on this journaling software though. Slowly, very slowly. Not really looking like bearish consolidation anymore. And I mean, we did bounce clean off the 61.8, so I guess there could be a chance the 61.8 fib plays out, but I would not expect that. Does that mean the PT, oops, that's not what I want. The price target for the market would be all the way up here. That's pretty far away, but that is technically this is the price target up here, my white line, due to the 61.8 rule. Hey, Tommy, it's called a stop loss, and then you flip to puts or shorts. That's what that's called. But I know you don't use stop losses, so. But yeah, if you use a stop loss, it's possible to make money even after you go long and the market goes down. It's crazy. Yeah, Riker, he doesn't call me Bryce. Flipping short was a chase. Okay, then. I don't know why you're. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You got to grow a pair. Not every time, Tommy, but you know, If I stop at Tommy, here's the problem. I stopped out of my longs, and then 15 minutes later I entered shorts. So no, I did not reverse. And yes, I did call out my shorts, but you also don't have any brain cells, so probably went right over your head. Oh no, I was calling out this freaking PT. This PT right here, which happened to be the bottom, by the way, magic, ever since we broke to the downside right here. So for an hour, almost, no, 30 minutes straight, I was calling out that price target. You know, we might get to that 61 PT all the way back up. Because, I mean, the green candles are pretty large and fast, and the red candles are starting to shrink quite a bit. It's quite possible that the bears are starting to back off. I mean, you want to know the truth? Every single trade I take is a chase trade because I like making money on trades that you can't get into. That's how I trade. I like when you can't get into my green trades. It's awesome. It's like the best thing ever. That is correct, Silvers. That is correct. Oh, market seems to be slowing down. Yes, is trying to turn into some weird small bullish consolidation right now. I mean, if you do count this as bullish consolidation, it could be a potential entry because you got demand, bullish consolidation, and ES is indeed strong. It's not very defined consolidation though. That sounds like a great idea, Tommy. Put those blinders on, buddy. Oh, ES is definitely a lot stronger than NQ now. A lot stronger. Need something else though. So if I'm going to enter shorts, it's not going to be bearish consolidation anymore. I'm going to have liquidity momentum on NQ, weak on NQ going against demand. I need something to happen here. I need some kind of little bearish consolidation right here. If that happens, we're in business. Potentially. To this PT. And the risk rewards aren't very good though. He has perfectly swept my PT. This was a pretty good trade, but Um, you do a little bit more down. He has flipped weak on me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just cooked, folks. Oh my. Oh, we're looking so freaking good right now. Oh my gosh. Let me just send you guys a screenshot. Oh my gosh. Folks, I'm freaking onto something here. Oh my gosh, it's possible. I'm scared that it wasn't possible, but it's possible. Everyone take a look in the the free stage chat here in a second. Don't mind the gold trade, it was a test. Late last night. Folks, the frickin' worked. Now, the last 7 days, that's wrong. It's only showing today. But it is possible to use the API with, I guess it's like a combination of the OAuth API and the WebSocket connection to do what we need to frickin' do, folks. Oh my gosh. There is frickin' hope. Oh, it's gonna be. I'm not freaking showering until that. I'm not even gonna shower till that journaling software works. Oh, it's gonna be so good, and it's free too, because it doesn't cost me anything except all my time and brain power. Oh, my journaling is gonna. Oh my future strategy is gonna become so good as a result. Yeah, that's a good idea, Connor. We do have a Minecraft server, folks, so you guys are missing out if you're not on it. That's so good. Oh my gosh. It's using freaking 3 different AI, like really advanced, really expensive AIs. Like if I wasn't so good using AI to develop things, I don't even want to know how much these projects would cost. Wait, can you explain? So Bouncy Bear, our website has that strategy building platform, and right now you can only import trades via CSV or manually enter them. But now you can actually, or will be actually able to today, to connect your Tradeovate account, your futures Tradeovate account, to the journaling platform directly and link your accounts. And like I can click that drop down and select any of my 20 accounts that I have, and see the trades from any of the accounts. So you know how like it works on TradeSyncer? Like if you pay for TradeSyncer, you can connect your Tradeovate. You can log into your Tradeovate account and it connects it. Uh, it's like that. But TradeSyncer costs, like $100 a month or however. Someone with TradeZella, do they also allow you to log into your TradeOvate account, or do they just have really, really good CSV importing? Type in chat. Yeah, Epic, if you're in the spawn area, you can't break blocks. Step on one of the pressure plates and it'll teleport you that direction. I don't see a potential trade anytime soon. This whole thing could turn into huge bearish consolidation, just like yesterday, but not really anything that I can enter. Actually, kind of bullish for a bounce on ES. Small one. Yeah, anyone with TradeZilla, do they allow you to link your Tradeovate directly to it? Like I'm sure they do. You log into your Tradeovate and do that. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing, except you don't have to pay for it. That looks like Baby Bear's consolidation on ES. That's pretty bearish. I cannot enter though, unfortunately. We have liquidity momentum potentially weak. Not a little bit of weakness on NQ, not much. Liquidity momentum weak or trend. Liquidity momentum and trend are you can use them both here. If we can bounce and invalidate the bounce, though, I can kind of swing ahead and shoulders on ES. But I cannot get in. But I'm still bearish to this 25,456 level. This is a nice pivot. This is the only nice pivot that I have near. It's nice, not because it's huge. It's decent size, but it's also double tested right here, and it did not sweep. So that's a pretty major level. Yeah, broke. So we are redoing a lot of the server. I did a lot more yesterday than just the website and stuff. We are redoing the free section, moving analysts into premium. Pretty much I'm redoing a lot of things. I got to redo the introduction channel, the upgrade channels, the indicator channel. I have to add new channels. I pretty much just got to uh, make this place pretty big, like pretty much more formal, much more organized, at least for new people joining. So you got a potential head and shoulders kind of forming. But by the way, guys, yeah, so you're not going to see me for the rest of the day today. I am going to be at the cigar lounge the entire day and working on the website. Because guys, this journaling platform, it's such incredible value, and it'll be completely free. Eventually, I'll move it to just premium, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. Uh, but it'll be free for this foreseeable future, at least a few months, or probably this entire year. Like it's not gonna go paid anytime soon. But yeah, this journaling platform, it's a freaking big deal. Most of you guys trade futures anyways. It's it's gonna be fantastic for all of you guys, and you don't have to pay for other things such as TradeZella or whatever. Now the only thing that TradeZella has is a replay mode, which I don't really care about. Um, Brooke, I wouldn't move it to the top, but I'll update you guys. It pretty much the server's getting completely rebuilt for when a new person joins. It's a completely different thing. Um, that Aurora newsletter, folks, we most of you guys got the newsletter last night. We're not going to resend it. Uh, we had to build something extremely complicated for it to work, and Discord still banned it. Uh, but it got through a lot more. Only a few thousand people didn't receive the newsletter out of 23,000. So we're going to go even slower. But as far as the premium newsletters, those will happen kind of every day. And type in chat right now in the Discord. What would you guys like to see in the premium newsletters? Because I'm just thinking of, in the morning, uh, overnight recaps, news coming up today, major earnings today, just general stuff, and then at nighttime, a night recap of the market, so on and so forth. And then the weekly newsletters, the really big ones, those will get sent to everyone in the entire server every Sunday, and they'll also be emailed out too. But the reason why I would personally choose to have the newsletter go to everyone. Right, it's better business. A bunch of people forget that they're even in this server. It'll bring a lot more people in. The problem is though, uh, in order to send out the newsletter to everyone, it's going to be like a 9 or 10 hour process. And if I'm sending a pre-market newsletter, well, that needs to go out within 30 minutes to everyone, right? And that's not possible with a lot of people. But our premium community is fairly small, so it is very possible to do that. So that's why the premium newsletter will be doing that. But yeah, Whisters. Yeah, we can do all kinds of things. But I'll work on that. Coding Dude's working on that today. I'll work on that later. My thing is uh, continuing this future session. Hopefully, it's not the same as yesterday where I get one red trade and leave. I'm upset that yesterday was red. Yesterday, really, I mean, it got to my. Did you guys see that NQ got to my PT perfectly? Topped there and went down. Like, nothing unexpected happened yesterday, but I didn't review it because I'm so slammed with the journaling stuff, but I don't really think there's any proper way to get triggered into the stuff I wanted to get triggered into. It's kind of turning into bearish consolidation here. I don't mind it. In the grand scheme of things, I don't mind it. But the problem is, it's just kind of one oscillation. What I'm hoping for is that we can do something like this. That's fine if we can do that. Because right now it's not really bearish consol. I mean, I want to enter it, and also it's also out of not great psychology because I don't want to miss out on it like I had to miss out on it yesterday, so that's also impacting. Um, but yeah, this isn't. I mean, this is bearish consolidation, but can I point out two defined full oscillations? I cannot. It's just one and some change. The journaling is gonna do so much more work because right now the issue is I can get it to show today's trades, but previous trades it's not working. So like it's you got to fight for every inch when it comes to this kind of stuff. But once it's ready, it'll be oh my gosh, it'll be so good, guys. ES looks pretty good and it is weaker. I'm hoping, really hoping for a bounce on ES. If we can get a little bit more down, the lower we can get before bounce, the better. But I don't want to get too low or we'll sweep low a day. Um, but if we can get down a bit more and then bounce, that'll look really good. And I'll be able to take that. It's pretty bearish. We get to my NQPT without me, I'll be sad. It'll be 2 days in a row of things happening that I want to happen, but I can't get in. I need a bounce. If we can bounce and come down, I'm in. Looks like ES wants low day, though. That's pretty dang bearish. It's very bearish. Is that news or something? That looks extremely, way more bearish than I was expecting. It looks like it's going to get there without me, unfortunately. Yeah, there's ES new low of day. And it looks like NQ is going to get to that price target without me. Just couldn't define two oscillations. That's the only problem. This bounce was too high. If this bounce wasn't as high, it would have worked. It's also bullish liquidity sweep on ES in demand and NQ strong. This is technically a reversal trade that I'd have to enter. Nah, well, it's complicated. I could, because we did get a liquidity sweep, and Q is stronger than ES, and ES is in fact in demand. Not a trade I really want to enter though. Their strengths are about even actually right now. Yeah, they are. They're pretty much even. So now I can't enter. Oh, but no, I wouldn't be able to enter anyways because it's potential bearish consolidation on NQ. The problem is now though, I don't even think I can take my short trade because that liquidity sweep on ES. With that liquidity sweep on ES, I mean, I'm going against demand and a liquidity sweep. Stonky actually tried to trade 1 micro of silver just for half a second because I was testing, and that's where that GC trade came in. It's like disabled. I don't think you can trade it on Apex, even if it's a single micro. It's like we're gonna go for a new low day. Still nothing to do. Still leaning bearish for my price target, but I don't see a way that I'm gonna be able to enter it, unfortunately. I hang out on my phone and wait. Yeah, Schwamp, don't mess with the website. I'll actually remove it because I've never said it was ready at all. I actually said the opposite. Looks like NQ is going to get there. Let's see what happens when it does. It's another potential bullish liquidity sweep here on ES. And NQ is strong. And yeah, that would technically be a long entry, but not really though, because it's potential bearish consolidation. I wouldn't have to include the bearish consolidation keyword if I only went to like the 50% or the 61.8 fib. So if I were just to go to the 61.8, I would be allowed into this trade. I don't really know if I want to take it though. Yeah, not really sure I want to take it. But I am technically, or I was technically triggered in. Now they're even in strength just about, so no, never mind. I am bullish for it to go up personally. I would love for, also I want it to go up before it comes down because then I can enter shorts. But the strengths are too even, so I can't enter. I'll keep hanging out on my phone and waiting. NQ's back to being stronger than ES. Looks good for bounce, but it is a potential bear pennant on ES as well. It does look good for bounce. I'm not allowed to enter. Man, I would love to take a long here, though. I think there's a pretty decent shot. We at least get to the 50%. Not allowed, though. I can't do it. Continue waiting. I think I just want to get into a trade. That's kind of the issue. Occasionally DH, but not as much recently. Here and there. I do want to enter shorts as well because this is a confirmed bearish consolidation here on NQ, but the problem is we have demand on ES, we have demand on both, and we're also continuing on a pivot on ES, which is an issue. So, yeah, don't really know how I'm going to get around that. So I'll have to wait and see. I just realistically, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this short trade to that NQPT, but NQ is now weaker than ES as well. It looks good. I'd really prefer not to miss out on NQ dumping to my price target, but I don't really see a way that I can enter. Well, that is, well, ES is stronger than NQ. Did sweep liquidity. It is in demand. But it's still bearish consolidation on NQ, so I cannot enter along there. I am trapped. I cannot enter anything at the moment, at least according to my strategy. So today's looking a lot like yesterday, which I do not like at all. Not a fan of that. We'll just keep hanging out on my phone. ES is weaker than NQ now. Gosh, man, I want to be in shorts. Yeah, do I really want to include this as continuation on a pivot? That's the thing. Do I really want to do that? So if I don't include continuation on a pivot, I'm in. I don't know if it really counts, to be honest. NQ looks like it wants to get there. That's a bearish break to the downside on ES. It's a beautiful bearish consolidation break. I'm gonna have to review because a continuation on a pivot that just formed. I don't know. That's kind of sketchy. That's a gray area that needs to get resolved once this journaling platform is done. Very nice break to the downside, though. In fact, I'm actually freaking triggered into a reversal trade. Yeah, this candle close is bullish. I actually have to get in. I'm not even joking. Because it didn't miss this pivot by a little bit. I'm genuinely triggered into this. Which means if I was able to take that short and this trade loses, my day would have been way, way, way better. But that's a gray area with the continuation on pivot thing. So that'll be resolved. Yeah. Guess we'll find out. Find out what the best outcome would have been and how my strategy could have potentially produced that outcome. Oh, is it a perfect double top on ES? Well, that increases the odds of my trade a decent amount. Don't have a hard BT yet, though. We're right back. It will be looking pretty good, but bullish chop hasn't really been working as much. ES doesn't actually look like it wants to. I mean, it's set up to do it, but ES doesn't really. It's not really pursuing that perfect double top right there. NQ looks good, but I don't know if it's going to be able to drag ES up with it. So let's keep hanging out on my phone and waiting. Would look great if this red candle validates, but this red candle is a super bearish candle. If it can somehow fully validate, though, it looks great. This is, yeah, we'll see. This day could be it. Like I said, if this trade stops out, this day could be completely different. If I could have found a way to trigger into those shorts to my PT down here, because I'm still bearish to this level, but it's not a key word. It's just the way I feel. So yeah, I'm gonna need to. Depends how long this journaling platform takes, but ideally, once I finish this journaling platform, I'm gonna be able to really move a lot faster on strategy development than usual. Also, looks like NQ's flipping weak now. Well, it looks like another green to red trade. Lovely. This bullish chop is just never ending, I guess, and there's no way I can get into a short for my big PT right here. I could potentially have to re-enter longs. Not really thinking that's a big possibility though. Now today's the exact same as yesterday, just opposite direction. We run super hard, can't really get in anything, and then the rest of the entire day is just chopping. I'm hoping that at least after it gets stop loss, it gets to my 25.456 PT, because I don't really feel like re-entering. But this trend line that I've drawn on NQ is a really, really nice trend line, which does need to break at some point. I just have no idea when. Ideally after it gets that PT. Well, looks like it's going to get to my PT. Don't think I'm going to get another trade today. I think I'm only going to stream options because futures, every time I do live free futures, every single day is pretty much red. This is polar opposite to the end of last week, so it did perfectly bottom tick me out of that trade. I don't think I'm going to get another one. The only other one I could potentially get is if we sweep my PT down there and then do that. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have anything. I'll just continue hanging out, waiting just in case, though. Well, there's my PT, and I couldn't get in for it. Maybe something, maybe something could have been different, but I could not, for the life of me, find a reason to get in. This pivot really messed it up, but maybe with the continuation on a pivot thing, we might be able to retract that if it's within a trending market. That is a pretty big drop, though. Q's next pivot is here, and it's a fairly large one. Why did that drop happen? Yeah, not sure. But it is pretty bearish. I'd be pretty surprised if we just go all the way back up. I would assume we continue down to at least the nearest pivot. But this candle looks oddly bullish. Oh yeah, that's bearish. It was bearish when we put in this buying wick. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. That's bizarre. Looks like there's a lot of buying. It was a big wick, invalidated, big wick again, validated a little bit before the close of the candle. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get to this pivot here, or we just invalidate this drop. There's a lot of buyers that just got validated here at the close of that candle. Oh, but maybe those sellers get validated as well. It's kind of turning into bearish consolidation here. We'd have bearish consolidation trend. One could be weak. Yeah, I could be confirmed into a trade here finally. I'd rather not. Would have much rather get into shorts all the way up here. But yeah, this continuation on pivot, same thing as yesterday. The continuation on pivot, that keyword may need to be revised because that's 2 days in a row where that screwed me. Today and yesterday should be green days, as far as my sentiment. It's looking like NQ's trying to bounce back up, but bears are really suppressing it. I don't know who's going to win here. The 61.8 fib on ES is all the way down here. So I'm naturally big time frame leaning bearish to that. Let's see if NQ ends up squeezing back to the upside. We'll see if it bearishly sweeps the high of this wick or not. That looks like it's going to go all the way back up. I don't think I'm going to be able to take another trade today. That's a weird way to end. Been working on the website kind of in the background, but yeah, it looks like it wants to squeeze and invalidate that entire red candle, but I can't figure out what actually happened right there. Oh, U.S. military shot down an Iranian drone that approached. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, James. Nose in. There's only a few thousand people in the server that did not receive the newsletter, and you're one of them. That's because the Discord bot got banned before it finished sending to every single person. So some people didn't get it, but we think we have it working now, and we'll just test it again next week for everyone. But the premium, I'll start it this weekend. Geez, that's actually fairly bearish. Yeah, Rick, they have automatic APIs for that. If it sends messages too fast, they get banned. CRWV puts. Did you just enter, James? The heck is core read? I don't know. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. It looks stronger than the market, but it looks fine to at least 88.28. But the whole thing is compressing, so this thing's getting ready to break one way or another. You better hope it breaks your way, bud. Looks like it's starting to do that, though. Yeah, it looks good to hear. That's a lot of demand. Geez, how many demand zones is that? 6 demand zones. I would be super bearish for it to continue down, though. Maybe just to 80. The problem is it's stronger than NQ and ES. That's a big issue. Usually never want to take puts on something that's stronger than the overall market. That is a really bullish green candle on NQ. That is very surprising. I was thinking NQ is going to get a new low of day. Now, if we invalidate this green candle, it should drop a decent bit, but I don't really see that happening. It doesn't look good for a downside anymore. That was a really, really big green candle there. That invalidated a lot of bears' hard work. Yeah, I'm not a fan of CRWV. You can see it, like, it's stronger than the market. I'm not that bearish for the market to continue down a bunch more, so no, I don't. It could be green, you know. My PT wouldn't be past 88.28, which means it's got a terrible risk to award, especially with how much demand it's in. But not a trade I'd take. Looks like the entire drop is going to invalidate. Unless it puts in the world's craziest selling wick. It should not have invalidated this much of that red candle if it's not going to continue. That is a bullish candle open on NQ as well. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop out. I don't really have another trade that I can take. I was thinking maybe bearish consolidation, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. I got a lot of work to do on the journaling and the website and all of that stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated. No trade review today or anything like that, unless I magically finish early, which I'm probably not. And then tomorrow we'll be back to the full schedule with the addition of the journal. So group one meeting, that's pretty unlikely, Rick. I'll have to see. I'll have to see how busy I am. All right, I'll see you guys later.